Welcome back to the Second Lunch Podcast. I got some weird nervous energy today. I was almost late. Is there a rule that Waze has to interrupt you right during the best part of a song? Because I swear to fucking God, it's every time there's a breakdown.
See, I've got the audio completely off for that reason. Now, I'm probably a greater danger to myself and others because then I've got to look at my little infotainment screen or whatever you call it.
Yeah,
But
that's probably the way to do it. I used to have it turned off, but then I recently changed it to Waze, and it like tells you when there's cops, and I don't want to miss that information, especially with how often I like to drive in the carpool lane, at least when I'm on my way here. Certainly happened today. Whole way here, didn't even think about it. I was like, I'm running.
well, you got your right on time.
But can't these people time their accidents when it's not a breakdown?
See, a lot of the time, like, I'm just thinking to myself, we were going real slow, guys.
Yeah,
We were already going real slow.
This was stop and go. You had
this was
one
easy.
job.
This was easy to not.
Yeah.
Don't even argue. Well, maybe it was slow because of that. No. This is
Yeah, and you had to ruin my song.
when it's like rush hour. Yeah, exactly.
Real boner kill, you guys.
Yeah, I had to take some weird routes to get here today. And I think that's going to continue to get worse. I think I might have to switch back to the train life, even though I'm not too drunk to drive. I'm just too annoyed.
Waze took me the old 10 Bundy scenic route through Seattle streets.
Hey, you want to take a left across Aurora with no light? Not particularly, no.
I didn't want to be on Aurora in the first place.
Yeah, but can I get on it safely? Look, if it's going to be dangerous on it, can the voyage there be okay?
Yeah, being in stop and go traffic is bad enough, but getting in an accident and that, and just like, now you're really not getting home by game time. You know what I mean?
No.
No,
that's an end to the afternoon. Crashing in the tunnel, that's like or somebody else crashing in the tunnel. Either of those are my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you're
Princess
stuck in
Diana.
the tunnel, yeah, I'd rather be dead.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the paparazzi following me.
Sons of bitches.
Don't trap me in there when the fucking big one happens, and don't trap me in there when a Nissan Juke crashes into another Nissan Juke.
Don't put me in a tunnel. Every time I get the chills whenever I get through a tunnel finally, or like over a bridge. When I'm finally back on land, I hate bridges. I hate bridges. So when I finally get back on land, I like can't control it. My whole blah, 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 woof. Oof, we made it. It was a close one.
See, I really enjoy. I mean, I don't know how much I would enjoy like walking over it, but we went to Hood Canal for the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take the Tacoma Narrows Bridge over. It's like that was at one point the third longest suspension bridge in the world.
That shit makes me nervous. I'm like, can we just go around?
Yeah. In fairness, that one did collapse. So you have more valid reasoning. It's like, I know it was a different model, different aerodynamics, but I think Chris does have more reason to avoid that one.
Boat? Where's the ferry?
Although, speaking of places where you can just get stuck in a car for a long time, waiting for the random ferry schedule. Yeah. A couple of friends of mine, their parents now live in or at least were living in a ferry required type place. They just started driving around the peninsula. This is too much.
Yeah.
Sorry, environment.
Ferries freak me out because I always have that. I always think whatever I'm on, the worst possible thing's going to happen. So if I'm on a ferry boat, it's going to sink. But
how many of those have happened in like Washington even?
No idea, but it could happen.
True. It's not impossible.
And I'm always like, in my head, I'm always like, I could survive. You know what I mean? I'll sort it out. I'll live. But then I went to the splash pad with Kendall the other day.
Splash pad is that?
Like they got just water shoots out of the ground. They got little fixtures that shoot water.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Place for kids to get wet when it's hot outside, basically. And, I always think back to like Titanic. I'm like, mind over matter, baby. I could have made it. I'd have been fine.
Well, you would have been drunk, which would have helped your ability to survive
just
a little
like that
bit.
chef that was on board. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah, he basically rode down the ship like it was an elevator.
Yeah.
Like he was like the last guy standing on it, and then when it finally,
he knew
like,
it was.
That should have whirlpooled you down, but he was just like, boop.
Yeah, he was when he knew the ship was sinking, he was like, I'm drinking all this booze. It's better in me than at the bottom of the ocean. So he crushes all the whiskey. And yeah, he's just hammered, bobbing around in the water there for a while. But yeah, I'm always like, that could be me. I'd be fine. I was at the splash pad the other day, and I kind of walked through one of the sprinklers, and I was like, took my breath away.
It's like, this is, again, what do we talk about? I'm at a high risk of a spook death. I'm at a high risk of that sort of death.
Yeah, I have a splash pad arrhythmia.
Yeah, wild waves, or if somebody hits you with a water balloon. Oh, shit. Myocardial infarction.
That's why you got to leave it in the sun for a little bit. Fuck, don't use the cold water.
So, next thing we got on here, Chris, seamless transition, fortune cookies. First off, let's just do this. I know we have a different one, but Gucci or greasy, fortune cookies.
It's definitely greasy. It's cardboard. I like them, and I always have like 4. I get kind of offended every time I order what I think is a reasonable amount of Panda Express for one person, and they give me like 6 cookies. I'm like, okay, fuck you.
Yeah, come on. There were 2 trays in here. What are you talking about?
Well, in a couple, but you bastards. This is literally what happened the other day. I rarely get Panda Express. I'm usually hungover when it happens.
Yeah, that's a fair
I'm like, give me that Asian McDonald's, baby. Get it in me.
Yeah, the sugar chicken the protein soak it all up.
I was pissed off at the fortune cookies, man. There's no, they don't tell fortunes anymore. There's no fortune. It's just like advice. I didn't come here for advice.
Yeah. Advice number 1.
Don't tell me to be patient with others. Fuck you.
Don't eat at Panda Express would be the first probable bit of advice I would give.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah. Somebody needs to be fired. These are not, you got to call them something else. They're not fortune cookies anymore.
I have opened one where it just had lottery numbers in it, and I was like, fuck off. Like, you didn't even have the effort to think of, we all could have just plucked 6 losing numbers out of the air.
Put a ticket in it. Give me the lottery ticket.
Okay, that would be that'd be something right there. Panda Express won me $3.2 million.
Now, how much orange chicken you can get with
that? How well's Panda doing? They could probably use that money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but so yeah, I was upset with the fortune cookie. Did you ever hear the thing people in my neck of the woods used to say the only way your fortune would come true was if you ate the cookie whole, like with the fortune in it?
No, nobody ever told me that. I've only ever been told that just sounds like a terrible gag and a choking hazard.
Yeah, I was like, you're just trying to get me to eat paper, because how the fuck would we know? We don't know what it said. I would never know if it was. What if I don't want it to come true?
Well, how does the lottery number 1 work? How am I supposed to convert that?
You just shit out a winning lottery ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Like some of these other ones, it's like, oh, I was rich and successful after that. I guess that did work. I never knew what it said, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to capitalize.
I also, that's putting a lot of faith in a cookie.
Oh, for sure. In the way, like, a mass manufactured fortune cookie being like handled in a way where you want to eat the receipt tape that's inside. I just don't know.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Especially the receipt tape thing. With how toxic those are.
Yeah. The cookie is alarming enough.
But don't you want to open it and see what the fortune says? No, I don't want to risk it. Could be good.
Don't want to risk it as you inhale an entire cookie.
Yeah,
I want to play this one safe.
One of the things I got said, I don't remember exactly what it said, but I read it as it's all up from here. Was kind of
like,
what
we know you're in a dark place.
Yeah, no shit. I'm eating Panda Express on a Sunday morning. It's not even noon, and I'm pumping all the orange chicken in me.
True.
It better be up from here.
When is it too early to eat something like Panda Express? Is there a time? I mean, of course, a show...
Any time. I would say if you're eating it at any point in time, you should not be.
Like 6:45 p.m.? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Noon, 5, so it doesn't matter. It's not the time, ever.
True.
It's kind of like Taco Bell. It's kind of the same way.
Taco Bell doesn't offend me nearly as much as... I mean, they make some very offensive things, but I just avoid those things.
Yeah. Did you see they're making like chicken nuggets now?
Yeah, I don't need that.
Stay in your fucking lane, man.
Apparently, the chicken game, getting into the chicken game is all the rage for all the fast food places.
They're just sorting that out now.
I guess Taco Bell and some of the, it's like the fast food chicken sandwich wars of a few years ago. But now we're in like the nug zone. and the numbers keep going up. Oh, I read this in Forbes.
I like Forbes is on top of the Nugget game.
Yeah, particularly the economics. They're not telling you if they're changing out the boot or the bell, but they'll tell you how Q4 was in the Nugget game. Speaking of things that Nuggets could cause, Big Dumper just won the home run derby.
Yeah. Is that the worst nickname ever?
I think it's the best. I mean, I think it really depends. Is that a sobriquet I would want to be named on the street? Not necessarily, but
I'll say this. I have always felt like we don't objectify male athletes enough. I do. I certainly do. But I feel like as a society, we are not. And I feel like this kind of makes me feel a little bit better about like some of the impure thoughts I've had about Caitlin Clark, for example. But Big Dumper, man, I like a butt name. It certainly catches my attention. It's captured my imagination.
And a catcher is the position, maybe a pitcher, but those are really the two. Most other, I guess, a first baseman here and there. But
I'll say this: I don't think he even has the best ass in Mariners history or the best ass in the league. So I don't want to offend all the Mariners fans out there right now. My real problem with the name is I love the butt part. Why Dumper? Because that implies some pooping.
Well, Big Turd Cutter doesn't fit on the jersey.
Sweet cheeks. Call him Sweet Cheeks. He's got big face cheeks too. It works both ways.
Well, I think that you're saying just Sweet Cheeks? I don't know. I think that that's almost too much of just like you might get called that at a diner. I want a nickname that's like really like your nickname. You know what I mean? Like, there's only one.
I'm hoping this progresses to Big Thumper.
I mean, you could argue that's maybe kind of the origin, but I don't know what the etymology did. Big Dumper.
Big Dumper is.
I mean, dump truck. Yeah. But anyways.
Why the pooping, though? I don't want to think about pooping when I'm thinking about butts. I know that that's what they do, but that's not what I'm there for.
True. Especially not at a baseball game.
Yeah.
You
Unless you're Manny Ramirez. Do you remember that? He left in the middle of the game, took a shit, and was like several minutes late coming back out for the next inning.
Like, dude, we had to do like a double switch to like, you like fucked our whole lineup up and shit with that. Because these days, especially with all the pitch clocks and stuff, they'd be like, we gotta fucking go, man. You can't. At least back then, you could get away with like, I guess, give Manny
that Fenway plumbing,
minutes.
man. You gotta flush how many times?
Just trying to escape some racist abuse in left field. I'm gonna take a shit for 15 minutes. That's a fucking enough of that.
Yeah. I don't know. Not a big fan of the name Big Dumper. Huge fan of the Big Dumper himself.
Oh yeah, he's I mean, it's the best offensive season a catcher's ever had.
Yeah. I think he should win the MVP. What are some other awful nicknames out there?
Awful. See, I mean, best and worst. I'm trying to think of really awful because I was coming into this thinking Big Dumper's pretty good nickname because no one else has it. So
right. I mean that's one point in terms of bad ones. Yeah. I always think like A-Rod. I remember the first time I heard it, I was a little kid. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. That's a cool nickname. But then everybody with the last name Rodriguez was
it just became super lame.
First initial Rod.
Yeah.
K-Rod's the only one that's cool because it's Francisco Rodriguez, but they call him K-Rod because he got so many goddamn strikeouts.
Yeah, I think you get 2 bites at the apple with a name like that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like I remember, like, for example, like what are the notorious boxing nicknames? One of the better ones, Hands of Stone, Manos de Piedra, Roberto Duran. Then there's Hands of Steel, and it's like, no, nobody else gets to be Hands of anything.
We already did the hard hands thing. Find something else.
Exactly. Like, fuck off. One really good nickname I heard the other day, particularly great body puncher that passed away just a few weeks ago, Hall of Famer, the Body Snatcher. I thought that was pretty good. But going to bad nicknames, let me really think about this.
Another good one, Gilbert Brown, the Gravedigger.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's outstanding. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis being the law firm.
I forgot about that one. Holy shit.
That was more fan. I mean, they're all fan given, but I don't know how many announcers ever called him. You know what I mean? Like that was almost more of like an online. I don't know if that one counts.
Do you remember Frank Gore's?
I don't remember Frank Gore's.
The Inconvenient Truth. Frank Gore.
Such a weird reference. Like, is he changing the weather systems around us? Oh my goodness.
Cool one, the big ticket. Kevin Garnett, that was a good one.
Oh yeah, that is a very good one. Yeah, big ticket's really strong. I think that Shaq's variety of nicknames are both good and bad. The big Aristotle, the big Shamrock when he was in Boston for like 2 seasons.
It's big something. He's a big guy.
I mean, one of the biggest.
As I told you, he's one of my units of measurement. When somebody's telling me like, turn in 28 feet, I'm like, wow, that is 4 Shaqs.
Line them up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that guy rolling into training camp at like 360 and still just bodying people. Like, holy
360,
shit.
that's what they were willing to report.
Yeah.
He was easily over 4. Had to be.
Big fella, those Lakers years, but still dominant. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with some of the bad nicknames. I should have come in with more. There's like some cheese ball. I mean, the fight game is where I would normally go to for these.
This was
There's
really
so many
all
bad
a
ones.
ruse for me to talk about butts anyway. So I got
That's
what
a
I
fair
needed.
point.
That's
And I mean, great excuse to talk about Cal Raleigh.
Also, he might have the coolest name in the sport anyway. He doesn't even need a nickname.
True. That's
Cal,
true.
automatically cool.
What's interesting, I would say, this year is that this is his breakout season, and really it's been a breakout really more like 2 months, because he was doing this the first 2 months of the season, but everybody kind of expected it to cool off at least a little bit.
I guess this kind of is the introduction to the rest of the league of Cal Raleigh, because
they were talking about it on Dan Patrick and stuff.
I remember
the first
specifically making a trip to Tacoma to see Cal Raleigh play. I have a Cal Raleigh Rainiers jersey. Years ago, like, it seems like he's been around forever, and it seems like just now everybody knows that he's fucking sweet.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, you know, he kind of got snubbed on the All-Star game last year, if I remember correctly. I think he is a first-time All-Star this year.
Right.
So that also is a factor that
We're
he's
also
not even
in,
like been
like,
on this
baseball
stage.
Siberia. We are like
True.
on an island.
True. You kind of need like a Ken Griffey Jr., like Ichiro, a real superstar to bring in the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Gleyber Torres isn't going to hack it out here. That ain't going to work. Okay, we've got etymology, and I didn't look this one up beforehand, although I've got some guesses. Etymology that you've got for this week, Chris, is pot to piss in.
Yeah. Do you know what that's in reference to?
I don't actually, but let me give my guess before you tell, because I feel like this one might be right, but it also could very easily be wrong, because, you know, your chamber pot would be a pot to piss in, but I know that, you know, even like as much as, or as I should say, as recently as 2 centuries ago, a lot of people didn't own a single piece of cookware. Like so you didn't actually cook at home because you were too poor to own a pot. You were too poor to own a stove. So they're actually, most people that were really poor would eat like the modern, you know, the then time equivalent of fast food, going around to a little like restaurant and getting their jellied eels and shit, because they have no means to cook.
McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah. It ain't going to be very good. But so that was my guess, is that some combo of those things.
You're kind of on the right track, actually. So back in, well, medieval times, it happened for a long time, so I'm not sure exactly the start and end date here. But basically, poor people would keep their urine and sell it to leather tanners, and that's how they would make some extra money so that they could afford to live. But the people who were really poor were so poor that they didn't have a pot to piss in.
Can't even tap into that great piss. If I was a finance influencer at that time. See, this is where what do they say about the gold rush? You don't want to be the guy. You want to be the guy selling the shovels. You know, you want to be the guy selling the piss buckets.
Yeah, I want to be the guy selling golden showers. See, here I thought we've been wasting a lot of pee opportunities. We talked about pee whiskey a couple episodes ago. Leather tanning. Here I thought pee was just the best lesbian porn category, and yet we've been missing all these opportunities to do stuff with our piss.
Point, counterpoint. It's kind of gross, though.
But money. You remember Moises Alou used to pee on his hands?
Yeah, he used to pee on his hands. So did Vlad Guerrero, actually.
No, Vlad.
Yeah, Vlad did as well.
I would never shake
I've got a worse one. Lyoto the Dragon Machida, former UFC light heavyweight champion, because of his health beliefs regarding losing certain nutrients during the process of urination would drink his own urine.
Oh, man. On purpose.
Yes, like piss in a cup and drink it. It was.
Oh my God, that's gnarly.
And nobody believed it because, like, this is like 2008. You're just like posting on some shitty MMA website online. You don't really believe it. But unfortunately, there's video evidence that he readily, knowing it would wig people out, readily provided.
Holy shit.
So peeing on your hands doesn't seem so bad. And also, I mean, Moises Alou, didn't he finish hitting over 300? Isn't his career average like 303? I don't know where the piss comes in, but it's got to be a factor.
Oh, yeah. Well, proof's in the pudding, I guess. We should all be peeing on our hands.
All right. Seamless transition yet again. We're talking band baby names in Australia.
Okay. I'm excited about this. I found a list of all the banned baby names in Australia. Some of these make good sense. Adolf Hitler banned.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you've only got bad intentions when that's your...
I kind of like the premise of somebody's first name being somebody's entire name. Like, what if I named my kid LeBron James?
LeBron James Moran.
Yeah.
So is James his middle name? No, his middle name Joseph after his grandfather.
First name LeBron James. I don't know what's so hard about this.
Listen, when you're doing roll call in class in first grade and they're like, Jimmy here, Bobby here, LeBron James, it's going to be definitive.
You also can't name them Australia. So that's out. I couldn't, it'd be like naming my kid United States.
It does feel, but see, they're infringing on my freedoms here.
Why not?
Because why can't I?
Another one, bomb. Can't do bomb. Absolutely not. That would be tough at airport security. Absolutely. Can't do it.
That is the most chicken shit one on almost. You can't just name your kid Bomb. That's actually one of the few names on here that's actually like a passable name. Because one of these is just the Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama. Another good one on
Dalai
here.
Lama. But like, what does he care?
Yeah, another good one, Bonghead. That's a classic.
That seems to be a reflection of somebody did that. Some of these seem like somebody did that.
New rule. Can't be Bonghead. Who looks at their kid and is like, wow, that's Bonghead.
But I hope it's exactly what I've got in my mind's eye. Like, holy shit, that is long and narrow.
Yeah, it's Beaker. Yeah, that's got to be Bonghead. Some of these are just like military, like admiral, cadet, captain,
lieutenant,
colonel, commander. Why? Constable. Yep. They're all about not. Here's a good one, though. I don't know why they don't want you to name your kid G-Bang. Why not?
I also think it's very funny that you can't name your son Mr.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't name your kid Mr. Yeah, you can't name Mr., Madam, Lady, any of these like titular.
Yeah, another one, brother, father, mother, mysteriously missing now.
Also, Osama bin Laden's off the list. So I think that it's a little dubious that we've got like 4 full names on here, and they're Adolf Hitler, Jesus Christ, the Dalai Lama, and Osama bin Laden. I feel like that's a weird group of 4 that you've
also Nutella.
Again, reflection of something somebody did.
Yeah, for sure. But that means somebody also named their kid G-Bang, which
true.
Dickhead, that's a no.
Can't name your kid Scrotum.
Facebook also off the list.
I mean, that
Can't
just
name
feels
your kid
outdated.
Facebook. Inspector, that could be kind of a cool
Can't
one.
name your kid Panties.
Judge, why not Judge?
See, this is back to the titular, like the Lord and Lady and Mr. and all this stuff.
Now, here's one that makes sense, but when I thought about it, I understand you can't name your kid Nazi. I understand why. But the more I think about it without any meaning, it's kind of cute.
You're saying that that's a passable...
No, you absolutely shouldn't. I mean, if the Nazi thing never happened...
phonetically?
Yeah.
It's kind of... With that.
I mean, it makes me think of... it would be spelled different, but like kind of a quirky cartoon pretzel. Knotsy, Nazi.
It's really unfortunate that it's not quite that.
Yeah. Anyway, Nazis are bad. Just for all you guys listening out there, I'm just going to say it. Not a fan. Semen's a no. Shithead also.
Yeah, but semen is also spelled, again, it's not like it's not cum. We're talking about the naval title, which is actually kind of a shocking instance.
What's so wrong with being a mariner, huh?
Yeah.
Thong. I've already seen this, but terrorist.
Yeah, they also put an asterisk in that, like, why? Whose meme is this that they can't?
Socceroos, that's a no. Snort.
Yeah, pretty interesting list.
What if your kid looks like a pig? What if your kid looks like Chris Snyder? I'm gonna not name it Snort. Smelly. Anyway, whole big long list of things you can't call your kids in Australia. So,
all right, headlines.
Headlines are education segment. Man farted in his girlfriend's face and gave her a 7-year infection. 7 years.
I don't quite buy that. I mean, so okay.
A Denver-based woman, Christine Connell, says she developed a persistent sinus infection lasting 7 years after an unusual incident. Her boyfriend accidentally farted in her face while she was recovering from ankle surgery in a hotel room. Despite numerous treatments, the infection persisted until doctors discovered E. coli, a bacterium typically found in the gut in her nasal passages, linking it to the unexpected exposure.
I think that might be, and this may be controversial, this may be the species getting stronger. If you got farted in, your face was farted in 7 years ago, and you just can't shake it. I think that
at some point, hats off to the fart.
What's the quote from Jurassic Park? Nature chose you. You were selected for extinction. Like you don't get to make the cut on this one.
But we're gonna let the peanut allergies go. We're gonna let peanut kids go.
I'm saying that you've got 2,000 days to get over it. Whatever medical science you need, whatever.
Hey, she's still kicking. She made it. I'd say I dare you. Try it again. I'm immune to fart infections now.
This just feels like a good way to get, this is like a guilt tripping of a spouse forever. I'm gonna have to take out the garbage till the end of time.
I have to imagine they broke up. There's no way.
She either got tired of seeing the guy that ruined her sinuses for 7 years, or he got tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, he did it on purpose, too. They're saying accidental. He's only going with, it was an accident after the first year.
How could this have happened?
Yeah. Whoops-a-daisy. How that slipped. Oh, did I do that? People with higher IQs are 3 times more likely to become alcoholics. So you're telling me I'm a genius.
Yeah, I feel like this one's somewhat known, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was an actual study done that gave us a number, but I think we've always kind of suspected that that was the case.
Yeah, more acutely aware of how bad everything is and how much you got to drink your way out of it.
Yeah. Ooh, that's really surprising.
Oh, the long road to escapism. Wonder how you found yourself here.
Prince from Saudi Arabia bought airplane seats for all 80 of his falcons. Now, you know how I feel about birds. Falcons are pretty sweet.
The picture's pretty outstanding.
This guy's got 80 falcons, and he's like, they all have to come with. I don't care where we're going. They're coming. How do you... So...
They seem to actually be staying in their seats.
That also means that these are ticketed passengers. I wonder what their ticket said.
Yeah, does he have names for all 80?
I was going to say, because if it just said Falcon 1, I'd be, if I cared enough that they had to have their own seats on an airplane, they weren't stowaways. They weren't put in boxes on the bottom side of the plane. They had seats.
No, I can see they've got little TVs in front of them. And they're interspersed with normal people, which is kind of funny. It's not like all 80 of them aren't grouped.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There are absolutely other Saudi nationals just like scattered through the plane. Just like, I guess I'm sitting next to a falcon today.
Yeah, 1 man to every 8 falcons.
At least he's not going to take the armrest. Like,
well, what are they perched on then? No, I think they're only taking the armrest.
I think they're on their tray tables. Well, it's hard for me to tell what the...
Well... don't know who this guy is or what he stands for, but I stand by this decision regardless. That's
a very strong
That's
one.
epic. Staying on the airplane topic, 68% of people say they don't recline their airplane seats out of consideration for the person behind them. That's fucking bullshit. No chance.
Yeah, none of those people are in front of me. I will say,
exactly.
I don't recline it because I don't want to hear about it.
Right, I was going to say, am I 68% of people? Because I don't.
Yeah, and let's be clear, not to split hairs, but it's not out of consideration. It's out of contempt for the person you might be. It's not. It's coming from a dark place.
Yeah. I don't need the extra 2 inches that bad.
No,
it's not
somebody's
helping
like,
me.
Whew, really took a load off. Like, we're flying to New York next week. Like, that's going to be 6 hours.
Yeah.
What is the extra 6? It's going to make it feel like it's 5.5 or something.
Oh, all right. Well, that was headlines. What do we have next here? I don't know if we talked about this before, but it came up in my life recently. Gucci or Greasy dipping French fries in a milkshake.
You know, I always have felt like it's almost like a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this actually your favorite condiment? What do you do at home when you have French fries?
Right.
But that said, like, I don't think it's the craziest thing I've ever seen somebody put on a French fry either. It just feels like you're only doing this because you're like at the Wendy's and they have a Frosty. You're like, well, fuck it, let's get crazy.
I've never looked at my ice cream and thought, this needs salt.
It's
Like, what the fuck are you doing? That's insane.
I mean, what is it that...
I've also never looked at my
example.
French fry and thought, this needs cold dairy.
Yeah, I think it's messing up the French fry more than it's harming.
It's fucking up both things. That's my problem with it. Who's this helping?
Well, like the salted caramel, I can understand some salt in the milkshake maybe, but yeah, this isn't helping my French fry at all.
Right.
But
especially if it's chocolate. I don't know why that makes it worse for me. Like if it was vanilla, I can see it a little bit more, but chocolate, that's bananas.
Chocolate's a more aggressive flavor. Yeah, I don't personally understand it, but I will say something that I do with fries that most people would probably consider greasy is I eat them plain a lot. I don't dip them in a whole bunch of shit, but
I don't dip fries ever.
Yeah, there we go. All right, well then I guess we're aligned on that one.
Kind of normal,
I think when I order fries from Dick's, that's the one place where I'm like, give me a couple tartars. Let's get wacky. Give me a couple tartars.
God, I love Dick's.
But other than that, though, like, yeah, the Wendy's fries, those are going down the hatch. Those don't need any prep work.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I've seen somebody do it, I've been like, you're fucking mocking me. You're like, ooh, look how fat I can be. You're doing something insane just to be an insane fat person. And as a real fat person, I find that offensive.
I will say I haven't seen someone do it in person in a really long time, which is, I think, another thing that's added to the gimmick. Like, oh, you did it when you were a kid. Maybe if I saw somebody do it. Did you see somebody do it?
Katie was trying to teach Kendall to do it before I intervened. I was like, do not teach her that.
It's like the version of like, you took him to temple. I was going to raise him to be Catholic.
Oh, I thought you meant temple billiards. I was like, yeah, it's my favorite bar. Hell yeah.
No, that wasn't a very clear joke on my end. To be
no, it was fair. A perfectly clear joke. It just, I was showing my genius / alcoholism. All right. We are moving on to Wikipedia. This one's all you.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, I've listed it as Wikipedia, but I think I'm just going to freestyle it a little more because I've watched it quite a few times. So this is part of a series that I kind of want to do, which are the most ridiculous moments in fight history. So I'll set the stage a little bit here.
Okay.
And I will say, Chris, off the record, this may be something that works well for us to do like a narrated clip in the future, like a reverse narrated clip. But
insert narrated clip here.
It's the it's the early 90s. Mike Tyson is in prison, so the heavyweight titles are a bit scattered.
Why was he in prison?
He was convicted of rape.
Oh, all right. We can cut that. We don't need to say that.
Oh, I didn't know if you knew that. So I thought we were trying to blast Mike.
Here, I thought he was just a really funny guy who likes the taste of ears.
Yeah, he's been rehabilitated in a way that few rapists are. Might be president someday.
I know he likes birds.
So it's so we're all, boxing fans waiting for him to get out, but heavyweight titles are a bit scattered, and Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe are in the second fight of what eventually becomes a trilogy. Probably the greatest heavyweight trilogy of all time. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder take second place. But anyways, in about the 7th round, and at this stage in the fight, Riddick Bowe is actually kind of starting to take control. He won their first fight. Winning this second fight would probably eliminate the need for a trilogy. How do you sell that? He's already won twice. In the 7th round, Judge Mills Lane, the ref, was a ref before his Judge Mills Lane days, calls the fight because a man on a self-propelled fan suit that has a parachute attached was circling the arena for about a half hour to an hour before the fight started. And actually, the TV crews had already told Jim Lampley and the announcers, like, we've got this guy out here. And they showed him on the broadcast. He crashes into the ropes in the middle of the 7th round. His parachutes are very tangled up in the ring lights because just like a baseball field, you've got a very illuminated, it's all this crazy shit. And he crashes into like the 3rd row with his parachute way up in the fucking ceiling, still attached to him. His shit's on the ropes. Riddick Bowe's friends, family, and team immediately respond in the way that most of us would. They start kicking the shit out of this guy. They beat the absolute fucking brakes off this guy because Riddick Bowe is starting to take the fight over, and your dumbass just crashed in through the top of, I don't even know where they were. I think they were in Vegas. Hence the outdoor accessibility when they used to do these fights on the strip. Ultimately, it takes almost 40 minutes to get all of this shit cleared out.
Oh my God.
Which, of course, changes the dynamic of the fight, allows Evander Holyfield to recover. He wins a majority decision, changes boxing history, just because this one complete asshole decided that he was going to fly around an arena for an hour and a half and then crash. It seemed to be his goal, too. I mean, how else do you crash in the center of the ring when there's so many other places to end up, unless your goal was to eventually end up in the center of the ring, which is the one reason I do think, beat the shit out of that guy.
How arrested did this guy get?
Oh, he got charged with like the borderline terrorist type stuff because I think he was flying around in restricted airspace. Like, the strip is close enough to the airport there that you can't just be fucking around 200 feet in the sky. Right. So, he got very charged.
And was this like a homemade aircraft, or was this like an actual...
Yeah, so imagine those swamp boats with the big, the big metal fan, Yeah. It was basically one of those, like in a backpack, and it was positioned in a way where it would blow under the parachute that he was on. So... it was this sort of fan parachute combo. He wasn't like a guy that could fly around like he had a jetpack or something, but if he got enough altitude, then he could float around, with some control because he's got a parachute that he's actually handling.
You're asking to die.
Definitely some very risky stuff. Again, you're in airspace. You do that above a farm in Iowa, it's probably going to kill you. You do that out on the strip. Around Riddick Bowe's friends and family. Yeah. Again, they might beat you to death.
Yeah. You're putting other people at risk that way, too.
There's plenty of police that are on duty for a title fight like that, but there's not like 30 in the 3rd row that were ready for that to happen because they immediately
I'd be so annoyed if I was a cop in that situation, too, because what can you do? You're just staring at this guy 200 feet in the air on a fucking
Yeah, like your plan was to if somebody tries to charge the ring, I'll grab them. Like, that's probably, if there's a fight in the crowd, I'll stop it. That's probably the extent of your thoughts as a police officer that night. Like, I might get to see some fight.
But you see a dipshit with a fan in the sky.
All right, can you drive this guy downtown? I guess.
I might have to fly him there.
Can we wait 20 minutes? Can we get the rest of the fucking fight finished first?
Oh, man. Kind of a funny idea.
It's definitely... I've not seen it done since. So, in terms of interesting fan interference, it's way up there. That's way crazier than, robbing a home run from the top of the wall. You had to really build, a unique device. You had to calculate the physics on this.
And here I know Steve Bartman's name. Come on.
Yeah, this guy's just the fan.
We're
man.
making the wrong people infamous here.
All right, Chris. I think this is a perfect time now to go this week in history. So, we're going really old on the first one. July 10th, 138.
Jesus.
Emperor Hadrian of Rome dies of heart failure at his residence on the Bay of Naples. Was this kind of death the best case scenario for a Roman emperor? And this is more trying to tap into some of your knowledge. He just died of measly old heart disease.
Good way to go. Most of them got whacked. The Italians have been whacking people for a long time.
Where did the mob get this? Oh, from the leadership.
Been doing it forever. This is just how people die. I don't know. You just get whacked. Julius Caesar was probably the best of them all and got whacked. So, to not get whacked, that's a pretty good job.
He got whacked, and like a lot of these guys got poisoned. It's like, well, depending on the poison.
You know, when you said heart failure, that was immediately where my head went. It was poisoned.
I was actually poisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very possible. But
yeah,
you know,
like you're really getting on with it here, man. You gotta go.
But Julius Caesar got stabbed by like 15 guys. Like that's a brutal death.
Overkill.
That's
more than enough, guys.
Brutus. Why is Brutus getting called out? First of all, there's 14 other guys.
Do you know why Brutus was called out?
Oh, I know why Brutus was called out. I'm just saying when there's 15 guys.
Yeah, because Brutus was effectively like his kid.
Yeah, it was it's the quoted line in the Shakespeare play. Et tu, Brutus? Yeah. Yeah, me and 14 other guys, dude.
Yeah.
There's a shitload
but
of
you,
us.
come on. That's pretty nice to you. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to go, especially and the fact that he wasn't like in Rome either makes you kind of wonder.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got some potential foreign parties there. But that's when you're the Roman emperor, isn't that where the term the sword of Damocles partially comes from? Like you've got the sword hanging over you all the time as the guy in power. Like you think you hold the sword. You're beneath the sword.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the closest to death out of anybody here, actually. Yeah. All right. July 11th, 1914, Babe Ruth makes his debut. Is he the most mythological figure in American sports for you?
Yeah, has to be him or his teammate, the Iron Horse.
Yeah, I was thinking about him too.
Yeah, Gehrig's got to be up there where you're like, there's like, I don't know, Marilyn Monroe is another person where you're just like, I can't even believe that happened. Yeah. Elvis in the 50s.
You guys were real famous.
Yeah, we were just like, is that even a real person?
I think about Muhammad Ali.
That was another one I had, yeah.
At the total peak but I mean, because he was so much closer, Babe Ruth died when we were still watching like black and white television, whereas Muhammad Ali boxed into the advent of HBO.
What's the next closest thing? Gretzky?
Yeah, maybe Bo Jackson, even though not the same level of greatness, but the mythologizing of the figure.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I thought Bo Jackson was dead because the way people talked about him was like, oh, clearly this guy was some bright light that drove too fast one day or something. No. His hip blew up and he still goes hunting down in Auburn.
Yeah.
Auburn, Georgia.
Yeah. Reggie White.
Or Bama, excuse me. Reggie White. Yeah, that's a good one. See, that's another guy that's, I think because of the recency, it makes it easier to mythologize like Babe Ruth, or it's like, actually.
Babe Ruth was so head and shoulders better than everybody else that people look at him like an asterisk.
Yeah. He's still got the highest WAR of all time by him. Not that that's a super easy stat to like parse out, but you just look at it and you're like, oh, he's like 30 wins above the next guy.
I saw one year he hit more home runs than an entire division. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's got the highest OPS all time too, at like
1.2,
or maybe Ted Williams does actually, but yeah.
If somebody wrote a book, like a fiction, and it was the Babe Ruth story, you'd be like, this is too tall a tale.
Yeah, you're selling the kid from the orphanage can pitch and hit.
Yeah, Andy eats hot dogs in the dugout while smoking and drinking. Come on. Andy's a womanizer, no chance.
This guy likes to party. Yeah, I think that'd probably be my choice because he's got the the history or how much time has passed really aids his legacy a lot. Gretzky, like you're saying, the margin by which he was the best was so crazy that's a very fair one. And I didn't really get to enjoy him in the same way as a lot of, like, Wayne was a LA King when I was born. Like, I had already missed.
You got to enjoy him more than you did Babe Ruth.
True. Exactly. And I mean, I can still see him get interviewed and stuff. It's like, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, when you think back, like, Babe Ruth, like, learned the news about the Titanic when it happened. That's nuts. That was really long
I think
ago.
because he debuted 1914, so yeah, it would have been 2 years prior.
He was in the minors. He was worried about his 0 for 3.
Shit, what happened?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
And I went 0 for, man, world's really going to hell.
Did they have the term golden sombrero back then? Okay, July 13th, 1977. Amidst a period of financial and social turmoil, New York City experiences an electrical blackout lasting nearly 24 hours. This leads to widespread fires and looting. New York was a little bit different back then. What are your go-to activities in a power outage?
That was a purposeful blackout, right?
No, I don't think that.
Don't they do that every once in a while? That, like, they black out to save money?
Yes, they do. Well, blackout to save money, or blackout because the grid's overwhelmed. So you do like a planned outage to try to, since the grid, we don't really store power. It's a constantly running, trying to keep it balanced.
Stop being so big, New York. Calm down. Spread out.
My understanding is it was a genuine, like, things got fucked up, things got overwhelmed. I think it was really motherfucking hot, which also, I mean, because think about it, it's July. What did I say? July 13th was when it. So overwhelms all the AC systems and things like that, and the grid sometimes. Yeah.
What do I do when the power goes out? Drink mostly.
Drinking's a good one. I mean,
I'm not going to sit here in the dark not doing anything sober. So,
do you guys have any, like, lantern? Are you able to get anything going? Like, I have, like, one little battery. It's not a generator, but, like, one of those things where you can, like, at least plug a few lights in.
Generator is overkill. I understand. Yeah. Like, the power doesn't go out enough for me to have a generator.
No.
It's just not worth it. No. And it's never out for long enough. Like, when we lived, when I grew up in Sammamish, like, we lived in the woods. If the power went out, it was probably going to be out for a while. So we had a generator then, but even it was like, didn't really give me enough juice to, like, play the show or whatever I wanted to do with the power being on anyway. So it was almost pointless. I mean, I could take a shower with the lights on.
Yeah, it's more of a survival generator. It's not like we're going glamping.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we used to, like, get out a lantern, play games. It was always fun to, like, turn on the fireplace.
Yeah.
But, it's basically drinking.
Yeah, drinking and a lot of, like, board and card games. A lot of got to get that going on. And then you're nice and juiced for arguing about the rules.
Yeah. Well, and
for a game neither of you have played since the last
blackout. My phone usually still works, so
that's also true.
Yeah.
Also true. But see, that's not a fun
That's not answer. In the spirit of the power outage.
All right. Last question. We might finish this week a tiny bit early. July 15th, 1983, Nintendo and Sega enter the console market with the respective releases of the Famicom and the SG-1000 in Japan. What was your first game console?
Mine? They basically all belonged to my brother. Like, he would get them for Christmas.
Right.
And I would be allowed to play them when he wasn't playing them. So I guess technically Super Nintendo. The N64 is the first one I remember, like, playing. And I pretty much only played Mario Kart and Madden and Super Mario.
No Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 on the
Oh, shit. I played a lot. Actually, that's probably the second most played game, if not the first. I actually might have played that more than... God, I did play a lot of Tony Hawk Pro
I think
Skater.
A lot of people had, like, the blue cartridge one. Like, look, it's in the fucking blue cartridge, man.
I don't think I could tell you any single song on that soundtrack, but I think it plays in my dreams. Like, just on loop.
Police Truck by Dead Kennedys. That's the one that I always immediately think of. Tonight's a night where you got in the truck. Yeah.
I remember loving it. It fit perfectly somehow. God, I love that game. What about you?
My first one was Sega Genesis, and I had that since as early as I can remember. When Mike drove through the garage door, making a getaway. Got to drive through the garage door sometimes. And the cop showed up. I was playing Pitfall on Sega Genesis, like Pitfall 93. So fond memories. And then I had a Game Gear. So the color...
Game Gear?
Yeah, Game Gear was the Sega color. It was like the Game Boy. And it was actually full color even before the Game Boy Color. But it would chew through 6 batteries in about an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's intense.
No, the Game Boy was a far more sustainably cool thing. But
could at least get you through a car ride.
Yeah, but since the Game Gear being full color in the early 90s, it's like, okay, this is actually pretty sick. And I think the screen was it was more of a horizontal, so it was more of like how your TV looks rather than the Game Boy, which is like perfectly square, borderline, almost more vertically than horizontal. Anyways, so yeah, those are the fond memories. But then the first console I really enjoyed the entire life cycle of was the PlayStation.
Right. I was going to say, what was the first one that sucked you in? Mine was the first Xbox.
Yeah, PlayStation, my dad, back when you could do such a thing, he rented the console a few times from Rain City Video, because you could rent a console for like some crazy price, but it was like $15-20 a day. So, but if you just want to test it out, like fire up a game, like not a bad way to get your beak wet and like understand how things look and everything. So yeah, I remember him renting it like twice, getting Tekken and Madden, and that was enough for him to be like, yeah, we're buying this thing. This is actually pretty cool. I remember him playing one game of Madden with his brother, and then like the next week we had all right, that was pretty sick. Kids are gonna like that one.
You mean I'm in charge of Brett Favre?
Yeah. I remember them figuring out like, oh, when you snap it, you got to press X again to bring up the passing. Like that was the thing. Like, where the fuck are my passing icons? And then 2 years later, when I tried to play it the first time, I was like, where the fuck are my passing icons? Oh, that's what they were arguing about. Yeah. Now I remember. Now I understand.
Yeah, the first game that ever sucked me in, like the first game I ever like spent too much time, like my parents had to like rip me away from the TV, was NFL Fever. Did you ever play NFL Fever?
Didn't play NFL Fever much.
It was basically...
I did play it, but yeah.
It was like...
Blitz-ish?
Yeah, it was the closest to being realistic while still everybody's like a roided freak.
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome. Like shoulder charges and spin moves were just cartoon. I loved that fucking game. I played... Yeah. I also would... Because the Packers are the best team ever, I would make everybody on the team have a 99 overall.
Yeah.
And just destroy the Vikings or whoever.
Oh my God, why is Frank Zombo so good? Well, that's too recent. That's a bad example. Like, why is Don Majkowski just like
Doug Peterson?
Why did you make all the backup quarterbacks 99? Now it's like doesn't know if it wants to use Favre or
Craig Nall. Is Craig Nall a Hall of Famer? I think that's all we got. Thank you guys for watching, listening, however you are enjoying the podcast. Please follow us, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all the places. Maybe Reddit soon. I might jump on Reddit.
Oh.
Let me know if you want us to get on Reddit. Anyway, Jordan, love you all. Bucks and 6.